O little one, you are growing up. You will soon be writing C. You will treat your ints as pointers. You will nest the ternary. You will cut and paste from GitHub and try cryptography. But even in your darkest hour, do not use ECB. CBC's beastly when padding's abused, and CTR's fine till a nonce is reused. Some say it's a crime to compress then encrypt, or store keys in the browser, or use JavaScript. Diffie-Hellman will collapse if hackers choose your G, and RSA is full of traps when E is set to 3. Whiten, blind, in constant time. Don't write an RNG, but failing all, and listen well, do not use ECB. They will say it's like a one-time pad. The data's short, it's not so bad. The keys are long, they are in ironclad. I have a PhD. And then you are the front page, Hacker News. Your password cracked, Adobe Blues. Don't leave your penguin showing through. Do not use ECB. Ah, crap. 413, Ode to ECB by Ben Nagy. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the stream. A little bit scuffed there at the beginning. Sorry that I didn't change my my clothes. I came right from work, and so I didn't get to change before the stream. So still wearing my work clothes, but I hope it will be fine. You know what? Easy. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, so as you can see, I spent more money again. What is wrong with me? Where's my phone? I lost the phone. Wait, there it is. Put on pants. I wear shorts. It's super hot. All right. Okay, so I feel like we need to go. That seems fine. All right. Okay, so let's see what the chat write. I kind of want to read the reactions to my intro. You know, I spent way too much time on preparing this. I didn't buy a robot arm. It's just a regular like slider with pen and tilt. Whoa! Thanks for the 1500 bits. Thanks, Captain Stupid. All right. Can you do some pen testing? I don't know where my gear is right now. The camera movement was awesome. Yeah, thanks. So this will be another project some other time. Currently, I have to use the mobile phone app to control this, which is obviously annoying. I would like to reverse engineer and then use some my computer or some automation or so to control this. But yeah, for now it's okay. It was a fun intro. I hope. Control it with the 8-bit computer. Yeah. Following on from the new policy release on YouTube, have you had time to review what they have said? Okay, something you need to understand. I'm as a YouTuber, I'm following this obviously very closely. The policy that was released and updated is not a new policy that they just released and now we need to be worried or anything like that. These policy updates are clarifications on what they have been doing already for a long time. There are advertising policies that just recently got updated, and now the community guideline policies got updated. These are not like new law coming into effect now or anything like this. These are clarifications because certain content was, they started blocking certain content and other content, and people had questions and needed clarification, so they keep updating this kind of stuff. If you are curious in the behind the scenes of these kind of developments, there's a YouTube channel called YouTube Creator Inside, that is ran by Google or by YouTube, whatever, by a couple of engineers or people that work in YouTube, and they interview engineers, they interview policy teams, and they always, if there are updates and changes, they will share it through there, which if you are curious behind the scenes, read it there. I, to be honest, find it absolutely silly how a lot of YouTubers, but also especially YouTubers, I find silly because you should be informed. The regular viewers, I can understand that you are not really into that stuff, but these policies are already there. Like, they updated the ad policy stuff, but everywhere they were saying they were just clarifying it. This is not new policy. They are just clarifying a few edge cases, and people jumped on the bandwagon. Oh my god, now they just updated it, and now this and this is not allowed anymore. But this is not true. This has been in effect for a long time already. These are just nuances more clarified. Does that make sense? Yeah. They have been blocking and deleting hacking content on YouTube for a long time already. You had the game hacking channels, Guided Hacking and others banned and deleted before. These policies were there already, but the system works, okay? Because my channel is not banned, Guided Hacking got their content back. The other channel that had game hacking got their channel back. All these things are always resolved because we do hacking YouTube ethically. We don't show or we don't advertise or show or share, for example, hacks on multiplayer games, which is a big no-no. And we don't show like stupid hacking shit like how to phish an Instagram account, how to brute force a Google account, how you can, get how you can use leaked credentials to hijack some kind of Instagram account or Twitter account or something like this. We are not showing this kind of bullshit that is criminal, that is bad, right? So obviously also what you need to understand is that these people that enforce these policies are obviously not experts, okay? You can't pay and have there sit experts. And even experts, like even programmers that are more technically versed, will make wrong decisions too. It's just important. The most important thing is that there's a path for you to allow to kind of get another review in. And so far, in every single case that we had in our YouTuber community, every single time that we got it back. The good thing is we have viewers in our audience that are working at Google, and so they can reach out and handle this internally, and this has always worked out so far. And so I personally wouldn't worry. It would be a rather strong stance it would happen, but could happen. I see it still as a risk, and it's definitely a risk because, you know, even by normal laws, you know, of not YouTube concerned, but even things like Nmap in some countries is deemed a dual use thing, that is deemed a hacking tool, and you know, it is really, really difficult, the interpretation and the fine lines where it is. I just hope that mistakes can happen, but then that they can also be resolved, and that when you present them the evidence that you do this ethically, that your videos are being shown in universities and all this kind of stuff, that this then helps to understand that this is not some kind of illegal stuff. One little addition, if we are on the topic already, I don't think anybody has the right to monetization and advertisements. All these YouTubers that are complaining and stirring up drama for their content being demonetized, I disagree with. I think that's complete rubbish. It's absolutely the sole digression of YouTube to decide, or the advertisers themselves essentially, who decide where they want the content to have run. And if they say we don't want any political topic to have our ads run, then that's totally their right. You are free to get your own sponsorship or advertisers and have those advertisers in your videos. YouTube, the terms of service do not prevent you from or forbid you from running your own ads in your content, except there are some limits there as well. You can't, for example, advertise, I think, porn. You can't advertise porn, and you can't advertise probably weapon sales as well. There are a few limitations on what they allow in terms of advertising. Anyway, yeah. So for me, I sometimes feel like the battle is fought at a wrong front. We don't need these policies to be changed or whatever. We need these policies to be, applied fairly and nuanced and taking context into account, and have the ability to have humans review, and not just a button to, can we review this? Because this is how it is right now. If you get demonetized, you can send it to a review again. But allow us to specify, explain the context, allow us to explain the situation that this is, and why we believe this shouldn't be, claimed or whatever. Is the YouTube counter displaying hacked intentionally? If it displays hacked, then somebody must have hacked it. I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty scary. Are you going to get verified status here on Twitch? I don't know what you mean with verified status. I don't think that there's such a thing as verified status on Twitch. What's today's stream about? We continue with the 8-bit computer, of course. There's a purple check mark. That might be for partners. A YouTube partner. Yeah. How many followers I fulfill the requirements for Twitch partnership. I have applied. We will see what happens. Yeah. Did you join the Sith? No. I came from work. It's, I did some hacking today. There are already a bunch of Live Overflow imposters? Where are there a bunch? I only know of like a YouTube, not a YouTube, an Instagram account, but do you know of more? I would not trust you with children wearing... I can't read it. Crap. I would not trust you with children wearing this. I would not trust myself with children either. What the heck? I don't want to have to pay attention to children that are unpredictable and run their head into the next corner. All right. Okay. I don't have a Discord, no. And I have no interest in a Discord either. Okay, so here, the video. Let's see. How do these religious societies or something deal with these kind of things? I can't see. I want to switch to the laptop, I believe. There we go. All right. Your favorite food is sushi? Do you know Sushi Drang, the Twitch streamer? If you want to see real crazy Twitch camera work, watch Sushi. His name is Sushi Drang, right? Or am I getting the name wrong? Oh crap! Oh wait! This is German. Oh no! Oh no! I screwed up. This is, we have a problem. This is German gamer music. Can't play that stuff. Quality content, indeed. Sushi Dragon is amazing. He has all these buttons around his hand and has controllers to control the. Dog is panicking. Give me 1 second. Need to sacrifice a goat. Okay, back. I don't want BTTV thing. Okay, let's head into then this video. So quick refresher to everybody who showed up maybe today and didn't show up, wasn't here yesterday. I'm well prepared again. Well prepared. Come on. Do your thing. So yesterday we started building this here. So we have an Arduino here and we have 2 shift registers here. What we are building here will be an EEPROM programmer, because we will need to program this EEPROM for stuff used in this 8-bit computer. And we just follow Ben Eder's series again here, the videos. He explains in excruciating detail how this is programmed. The video is called Build an Arduino EEPROM Programmer. So what we will do is we will just continue watching this video now, and then I don't know, we possibly also add more stuff to this thing. default GNOME looks lame. No, I don't care. Why do I care how it looks? How many cables are planned for today? I don't know. Nothing. You left halfway through the stream. Yes, last time it looks the same. Yeah, we did a little bit, you know, wait, what did we do? Yeah, we didn't do much. You have no experience with CTFs. From where should I start? Please go to my website, liveoverflow. Do I have a command by the way? I could have sworn I made like a command for this. Here, this is the only advice I can give you. Where can you buy the Jedi clothes? It's not Jedi clothes, but I went to a costume store and told them that I want to make a video where I stand like this and the camera films me from the backside with the hood on, and I want to make it look like a secret hacker cult. And then they selected, then they found me some. What do you mean? What do you think about the Heartbleed exploit? It's an exploit. It's cool. It's very, very interesting bug. Are you going to make a video on it? Maybe eventually, but Heartbleed has been covered so extensively. There are so many incredible, amazing blog write-ups and talks already about it. I don't feel like I can add much to that. I haven't really studied it. It's also obviously now quite a bit old. So, not that that would matter to me, but I feel like that has been covered so much. You actually asked them that? Yeah, of course. They are a costume store. They get weird requests for weird costumes all the time. People go do theater videos or even just going to weird costume parties. Do you think that's so weird to tell them that I want to make it look like a hacker cult? That's probably like a stereotype that they get every week. Oh, start hacking is the command. Thanks, Overkill. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where did we leave off? I totally don't know what we did last time.
Then we can do everything else directly off of the Arduino. But for our output enable, we want to shift that out at the same time that we shift out this byte here. It's got to be part of this first byte that we shift out, because that's what's going to end up in this second 74HT595. So to do that, I'm going to actually change my set address function here to also take a Boolean with what I want the status of output enable to be. And the way that I'm going to set this is take the top part of the address that we're already outputting and do a bitwise OR with another expression here, which is going to be conditional on whether output enable is true or false. So if output enable is true, then I'm going to OR it with 0, which is going to do nothing. If you OR something with 0, you get with whatever you started with. If output enable is not true, if it's false, then I'm going to OR it with 0x80, which is, if you convert hex 80 into binary, it's basically just the first bit set. And so now I can use this set address function. So when I set my address 1234, I can set my output enable to true. So I would do this if I wanted to, let's say we want to read from address 1234. We set the address 1234 and we set output enable to be true. So if we go ahead and run this, see it's uploading, and nothing happened. But that might actually be right, because when I set output enable to true, that means I want to...
Dynamic donkey and links, I believe you talk about two different things.
I want the EEPROM to output its contents. And to output its contents, this output enable is an active low. So output enable should be low, and it is low. So it might actually be working. In order to test that, let's try setting this to false. So here we want to put the chip into input, the EEPROM into input. And let me actually give it a different address. Instead of 1234, just say 1456 or something, just so we see that something is happening. And then with output enable false, we should see the output enable go high. So sending some data, and yeah, our output changes, and we get this output enable goes high. So perfect. That means we're now able to, with just using 3 pins from our Arduino so far, we're able to control all of our address lines as well as the output enable. And that means the only thing left that we need to be able to control is the I/O pins. So there's 8 of those, and the write enable. And I think everything else we can either just chip enable, we can just high low, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And fortunately, we still have 9 pins left, which is exactly how many we need. So now let's start actually hooking the EEPROM up to this thing. So instead of just looking at LEDs, let's try to do something. Now I'll hook those same outputs here to our address lines. That's the first 8 address lines. And we got 3 more over on this side of the chip. Okay, so that's all 11 address lines hooked from our 74 HT595s into the various address pins on the EEPROM. We can also, of course, while we're here, tie the chip enable low, and that'll just always be low. We don't ever want to do anything with that. And then, of course, our EEPROM also needs ground and power. So we've got all of our address lines hooked up. We've got our chip enable hooked up, that's just tied to ground. We've got ground and power here. Output enable, remember, we can hook that up too, because that just goes to the 8th output here of our second shift register. Now with that, the only things left on the chip here are the I/O pins, so I/O 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and our write enable. And so for those, we're just going to hook those right up to our Arduino. So the I/O pins 0 through 7, we're just going to hook up to, is it D5, I guess is the next data pin. So D5 through D12.
I got again fooled by the wire color. I thought this is blue, but turns out this was his green. His blue is so much more noticeable. God damn it.
Okay, so that's all the I/O lines, and the only last connection is the write enable, which is right in there, I think, and that's going to go over to pin 13. And so that should be everything. We should be able to control everything on this EEPROM. So
we need to be a bit more careful with how we connect this now, because we have a slightly different EEPROM. Ours is a bit larger, so the pin out will be a bit shifted. Yeah, so let's do this. How far he?
What I want to do is write some code that'll allow us to read what's on
laptop.
the EEPROM. So
okay.
Get this. Which is right in there, I think, and that's going to go over.
I guess a bit earlier in that video. Okay, so we need to look up our EEPROM. We have the AT28C64B. So that's our chip. And then I guess we could also again compare this to Ben's program. Bring it all together. I guess in the complete part list we can quickly find it. The C16. Would love breadboards with 2 small extra lines like the 2 in the middle, but only with 2 holes, so that you can cable from an IC to some pin headers, so that interconnections can be cables. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Amazing gamer. Yeah, the color is just for us to differentiate what the different purpose of the wire. Of course, inside it's just metal. It's just the outer plastic color. COB camp. Okay, so, and this is the one Ben is using. Wait, did I miss the pin out? Ah, there. So let's see. So our chip has 28 pins, and his one has 24. So in general, though, we have a weird NC. Does this chip also have an NC? I guess not. And then we have the address lines still on that side. Yeah, we need to be a bit careful. For example, A12. I mean, we don't use them anyway, but I think. And then the I/O pins are down there. I guess the I/O pins are the same. The write enable. Yeah. Okay, we need to be a bit careful. Chill, dude. We finished the registers a long time ago. Subscribe to liveoverflow too if you want to see updates to the project. Okay, I'm dreading this. We are not working on the 7 segment. I guess we are working on the 7 segment test code, but we are kind of diverging for a moment, and we built an EEPROM programmer. This EEPROM will then be used in the 7 segment decoder. All right. Okay. So let's see. What did Ben say? What did he connect first?
Some data, and yeah, our output changes, and we get pins from our Arduino so far. We're able to control all of our address lines as well as the output enable. And that means the only thing left that we need to be able to control is the I/O pins. So there's 8 of those, and the write enable. And I think everything else we can either just chip enable, we can just tie low, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And fortunately, we still have 9 pins left, which is exactly how many we need. So now let's start actually hooking the EEPROM up to this thing. So instead of just looking at LEDs, let's try to do something. Now I'll hook those same outputs here.
Okay, so we hook the outputs now. I guess it would be also good to open the shift register. HC, yeah, there we go. This one here. Data sheet. So we hook this one up to the, and so he connects the second pin to 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the second, this is QA, so that's the first output of the shift register, and he connects it to A0. All right, okay, so now we know how we have to connect this. So we do the same, we also connect to the 10th pin here. All right. That rope is cool. Yeah, I really like it too. I thought about taking it off after the intro, but then I thought, damn, it's actually, you know, it makes me feel so much cooler. I wonder why not more people wear this. Oh wait, so here. So we go from like down here, there, then we go up, and we go left, so like there. If I ever do live overflow merge, do you want to buy ropes like this? And then I I don't want to do a meetup, but we could do a meetup, and then we could stage like a cult like entrance. Or we could all like we could rent a cinema and watch the Hackers movie while we all wear this. I think it would be so fun. Sounds like a bad idea to do in Germany. Do we have history with that I forgot? Maybe move the right camera. Maybe move the right. You mean this in view? You mean this? I guess we can generally now for the connecting we can switch. I like this camera a lot. And then we can, I guess, also have the overhead. Oh. I think I broke my overhead camera. I plugged some stuff in and out earlier in the computer. We don't need it right now though, so it doesn't matter. Let's do it like that. I want this here, so let's change the camera. There we go. Hackers was one of the cringiest movies I've ever watched. You have no idea. Hackers was amazing. QA, so this pin goes to the 10th pin. All right. Do we have other outputs from the shift register on this side? No. Okay. So I guess we can. Yeah, I guess we can take this route. I haven't seen it. Should I wait for a meetup? If you wait for a meetup, you will never see it. I will never do a meetup. Or I shouldn't say never, but probably I don't plan to ever do it. Right now I don't plan to ever do a meetup. I think a live overflow CTF would be fun. You know, CTFs are always fun, of course, but the problem is a CTF is a ton of work and I don't have good idea for challenges. The 10th pin. Yeah. I need to. Oh, what did the blind hacker write? Oh, just Okay. Add wire. Uh-oh. Everything is broken. Oh, my add wire is broken. And QB starts then down here. Oh, QB is down here. So we connect from here to the next one here. So thanks for the Twitch Prime sub, DMFJIO. Welcome to the Secret Hacking Society. If you go left at the entrance and walk down the hallway, and then you should be greeted by somebody at the third or fourth, no, it's the third door, and there you should be able to pick up your rope. After you got a rope that fits you, then please walk further down the hallway. Straight, the door is straight ahead. It's like a double door. Just open that, and then you can enter the society main hall. You're welcome. Okay, so we got the second one done. Oh, add wires. I don't know why I didn't buy a rope earlier. This rope feels so comfy. It gives like the tunnel vision already, you know, you don't even need to get into the zone, you just have the tunnel vision. And then I think it's the perfect attire for the next CTF I will be playing. If you play and win a CTF like this, you look like the biggest baller in the world. Yeah, I wish I could do this. You know, these are the kinds of joke only GeoHot could make. Umax DMH just has written very naughty things that Twitch doesn't like. Did you buy the costume or just rent it? I bought it. It wasn't that expensive. It was 50 euros, I think. So just the cost of a hoodie. And so far, I like it as much as a hoodie. So I feel like I keep wearing this. Renting clothes? Well, for costumes, it's actually quite normal because, you know, often you would, if you do a production, and I'm not talking about, you know, a massive, I mean, even real productions, they probably might rent it, but yeah, because you only need it like for a couple of scenes, for a couple of days, and so renting costumes is super normal. I see you finally got a mandatory hoodie. It's more than a hoodie. Okay? It's not just a hoodie. God damn it, cables. Oh my gosh, only 5 connections, right? Do you know you can wash clothes? So, Lynx, do you think about yourself that it's an irrational grossness, an irrational reaction that you have, or do you think that's a valid hygiene relevant reaction? It's irrational. Well, okay, that's all right then. It's not a hoodie. Stop insulting me. It's a full-blown robe. Only fake hackers wear the cheap black hoodies, you know, the true ones wear robes. Please change center wire. You mean this one here? Yeah, it's getting pushed from the masses of cables right now. We can fix that in a moment. Certified hacker robes. Yeah. I feel like regular t-shirts are kind of like boring. So if I would do merch, I would it to be cool. Or, you know, special kind of t-shirts. Like, for example, like some fancy violent-free organic t-shirt, something ethical. That's already trouble enough to source and distribute. But something like that, or something weird like ropes. A mankini. I think it's not quite the target audience. That's pretty clever, Lynx. That's actually clever. I have never understood why we, by the way... Wait, Lynx, I'm curious. When you go to the bathroom, do you wash your hands before you go? Because I always felt it's kind of stupid that we don't wash before we go. Like, that is... Like, that's almost like... Not washing before we go is almost worse than not washing afterwards. You should be a little bit careful with Captain Crunch. Okay, cool. So I think we connected all those wires. We connected 0, so I guess we could, like, I don't know. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we connected all those 8.
Here to our address lines. That's the first 8 address lines. And we got 3 more over on this side of the chip.
Okay, so what did he connect?
Okay, so that's all 11 address lines hooked from our 74 HT595s into the various
he hooks
address.
up all 11? I guess we should do that too, just so that the code will be compatible, but the other address lines we just pull to 0. So the next 3 he 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, okay. So the next 3 up there he connected. So he connected A8, A9, A10. No, yeah. And so we also connect. No, wait. He connect A8, A9, A10. Ah, okay. So they are in the kind of the same position almost for us, just a bit shifted down. All right. Crap. If I had kind of, now it's getting a bit too crowded here. We need to connect. Okay, wait. Let me rearrange this a little bit here. Okay. I mean, we only need to connect from one up there and I guess two down there, so that should be enough space. Oh, hey, Adam. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the secret hacking society. 1 second. Give me just 1 second. I screwed up my thing here. Wait. Promise me. Just wait a second. Just wait a second. Wait a moment. 1 second. Almost. I got it almost. Okay, wait 1 sec. Almost? Ah, crap. What you thinking? What did you think? It's not an electronics book. It's the proof of concept or get the fuck out book. 5 from 7. I take it. I take it. I take it. I've seen more intense cold anime openings on Twitch. On Twitch even? Dang it. I'm coming for you, slightly musical Albert, with your camera movement, but probably not getting to Sushi Dragon level. How did you move the camera? Dude, I'm a hacker. With my mind, I control this. All right, everybody, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the host, Adam. We do some boring work. Basically, we keep watching videos. We continue watching the video. We are building this 8-bit computer that you can see over here. It's blinking there in the background. It's not done yet. It's not fully connected yet, but we have done many parts. Right now we are working on an EEPROM programmer. EEPROM is ROM, that's memory, that's just storage. And we use an Arduino to write all the values that we want into that storage. And so right now we just hook up all the cables to make that work. Didn't you do something with the Arduino last night? Yeah. We are still working on this here. My camera battery is empty. 1 second. Oh no, I ripped it. Very hacker appropriate. Thanks. I came straight from work and I didn't have time to change before the stream. Okay. So here you can see this is where we are at right now. So we just connected all these wires and now we need to connect 3 more up there. This is where we basically left off right when Adam hosted. Take care. Good luck with the stream. Thank you. Good luck, Lynx. Okay, so we need to connect. What did Adam connect? So we put the laptop. I guess. Wait. Let's switch to this. Let's do it like this, and let's put the laptop there. There we go. Throw away what you have so far in the trash so I can watch you build it from the beginning. You can go. I upload all the VODs and also kind of a little bit a shortened highlight cut, just a condensed version of everything, onto YouTube, liveoverflow 2. That's the channel. But this is all based on a YouTube series by the YouTuber Ben Eder, who has a series on building an 8-bit computer. So if you're just curious and you don't want to hear my stupid talking about it, you can just watch his series directly. It's obviously way shorter than the streams and extremely well explained. And I assure you, even if you have no knowledge about electronics or anything at all, I guess if you are here, you came maybe from Adam or so, you probably have. But if you wouldn't have any knowledge, you would even understand at the end how basically a computer works. It's building an 8-bit breadboard computer, as the playlist called. Ben Eder, you can easily find it on YouTube. What are you doing with this dark cape? It's the work. It's my work clothes. What are you talking about? You know all the programming? I actually program in HTML. Nice. It's quite impressive that someone can build a computer out of just bread. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. And as a power source, he uses potatoes. How much space for cables do you need on the other side of this chip? You mean this side up here? Not so much. I don't know. We need to connect quite a bit still. So we connect 3 more address lines here, and then we have a couple of control lines that we need to connect all the way to the Arduino. So we need to have a line going like from here all the way over there, I believe. We will see. Okay, let's do this. So we need 1 cable. So the first one he connects to the 3rd pin, so that is address A8. Okay, so he just keeps connecting in order. All right. So we need, this is our chip. Ours is slightly different than what Ben is using, but that doesn't matter. So we want to go to pin 25. Okay, so we go like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So from here, then down, and then a bit over, like this. You prefer sourdough when building my computer? Will this actually cut bread? No, it's built out of bread. It's not about cutting bread. We do a bend here. And then we do another bend like here. Thanks for the Twitch Prime sub, Laber Fight. Is that German, Laber? Welcome to the Secret Hacker Society. You can pick up your rope at the entrance. Just tell them your size. And then please join the others down the hallway straight in the big main hall. Okay, see you there. It's beard board, not breadboard. You know which hairs for wires we use once my beard is all cut off. It's eyebrows first, not eyelashes. So 1. Crap, I'm an idiot. The first output pin of that chip is on the other side. It's up there. Oh no. Oh crap. Now it's like short. It's like 1 millimeter too short. This up here goes. This goes over there. Use your 8-bit computer to run a sorting algorithm? Yeah, that would be cool. The problem is the original version of this breadboard has very limited memory. It only has 16 bytes. and that memory is shared between, you know, the memory that you want to use for whatever and your program memory. So writing code into 16 bytes and have memory left for data that you actually want to sort is a bit tough. But we do want to extend the memory as well, but we will do this later. I have not looked at the TyphoonCon challenge myself. I thought about it, but I haven't. Have you looked at it? Have you solved it? To be honest, I was way too scared of it after having seen that nobody has solved it for such a long time. And so I thought, I'm not gonna look at this. I will not even bother. But then people have solved it fairly. It seems to be doable. I don't know. Like, people then started to actually solve it once I announced it again. So I don't know. Thanks for the Twitch Primes up. More to me. What? Can you guys? Not guys. Can you please just use names that are speakable? That would be highly appreciated. Also, shorter would be nice, because once we print out the name tags for your robe, you know, it would be nicer if it's shorter. If we have to stitch your names on it, it's sometimes just a bit too wide. Okay, so first one goes to A8. Excellent. Now we go down there. Oh my gosh, sorry, terrible camera work. So we got the first connection over here, going to the 8th on the 9th address input, and now we go from down there to the one right next to it. So we go from here a little bit more, a little bit more. Still creating the 8-bit computer? Yes, we just diverged for a moment to build an EEPROM programmer with an Arduino, because we will use the EEPROMs in that build. Basically, we are working actually on a 7-segment display circuit where we will use the EEPROM for. But yeah. To then not have to program the EEPROM by hand, but automatically through the Arduino, we are building the circuit here. So you can see we have an Arduino here, some shift registers, and the EEPROM. Okay, bye-bye, Adam. Thanks for the host. See you around. Is this modified Arduino from the hardware CTF? It's the same kind. It's also an Arduino Nano, but it's not the one from the CTF. Here, but I have it. I think I still have it back here. Here, this is the Arduino Nano from the CTF. Unfortunately, one of the pin that was bent up for the power measurement broke off. Unfortunately, oh no, and I just broke down here. I don't remember what I did there. I don't know why I added a diode there. It might have been to... I have no fucking clue what I did there. Also, you can see me having... I don't know. Wait, I think I removed a diode, a capacitor there, and I believe I replaced it with a diode. I don't remember what I did there. But yeah, see how it's wrecked now? Oh my gosh, here's also a pin like bent. Look that missing pin there. So sad. To be more wrinkly. Look, if I look down a little bit, then you get one big wrinkle. Okay, so next wire. We connect to A10, so the 21st pin. Where do I know you from? Grassland Stream? I have no clue what Grassland Stream is. I have a YouTube channel. Maybe from YouTube? Name just sounds familiar, who knows? Well, I have a YouTube channel that might you have seen video. You could have stumbled over a video or so maybe. I have seen that you use the Lana emote. I have also hosted Lana looks like twice or so. So maybe you saw my name pop up there. Possibly, yeah. It's getting really crowded there. There we go, and now we go to pin 21. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so here. Fifteen, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Alright. Yes, I don't have a Discord. Winter Electric. There's no Discord. Change the wire count. Yeah, crap. How many are we in now? So we have the 8, the 8 address, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we should be at 11, I guess. Oh, we can add 6 more. There we go. By the way, chat box on screen is a great idea. What do you mean with chat box? Just the chat there on screen? A lot of streamers do that, no? Is that an EEPROM? Yes, it is. We are using this, we want to use this Arduino to program this EEPROM. No, it's not Darth Vader. We are a hacker cult. Okay, okay, so now we connected all the address lines. Now this one is a little bit larger than Ben Eater's thing, so I would say we connect the, so it's a bit small for you, but our chip here has address 11 and 12, and his one has only, that's it, only 10. So 11 and 12, we don't need them. We don't need to address so much. So I wanna just pull them to ground. We put them 0. We don't really care about it. So let's add these 2 ground lines, and also we need to connect VCC and ground for that EEPROM anyway. Level 2, I cannot tell if you ask, like if that's a joke question or a real question. Ground. So we have ground over here. Do you need to connect it to ground? Can't you leave it unconnected? If you leave it unconnected, I'm not sure what it defaults to. There might be a default defined. There might be like a pull up or pull down resistor inside of that might default it to one level. But it's better to for sure to decide where to pull it, because you know the EEPROM will use all addresses to address a memory cell. And if you, for example, let's say it would be random what these bits were, then when we only use 10 of them and we set it to a certain value, then if randomly this other address bit that we are not using is a 0 or 1, those are then 2 entirely different memory addresses. So we just tie them to 0, and then so all the addresses we will use are only 10 bits long, and the upper bits are always 0, 0, 0. It's just important that it's 0. So yeah, if it's not connected, it might float. A lot of these chips have like defaults, what a default is, and the default might be 0 or might be 1. Who knows? We might be able to see that in the datasheet, or it might also be not defined, and then it would be floating, which means like random is essentially. Yeah, okay, so we need to pull 11 to ground. So if that's 21, so over here. This is an electrical, it's not an EEPROM, it's an electrical erasable, I mean it's an erasable EEPROM, and it's erasable via, it's like just like you just override it. It's electric, so Yeah, it's not with UV. I accidentally bought non-erasable ones. It's not read-only, no, it's an EEPROM. You bought some EEPROMs? Yeah, why would they not sell that? Okay, so that's one address line, and then we have another 812 over there. Ah, crap. Might be a bit too short. So these cables are so tight there. Go on. Okay, there we go. So that's a 12 pulled down, and then we need VCC. So we have add wire 2. There's no such thing or assembly. We will create our own opcodes, and we will write those values for those opcodes into memory by hand. And maybe we could write our own assembler for it. We will definitely not have a C compiler for it. We only have 16 bytes of RAM in the original build here, so there's no space to do any compile program. That must all be written by hand. $16 yeah. Yeah, it's enough to run like Fibonacci or something. So 16 bytes RAM, so that's memory that you can use as, memory, or and the program code as well. But yeah, that's one of these modifications that we want to make. I plan to increase the memory. That also requires some redesign of the instructions and so forth. But yeah, but we will deal with that when time comes. First for now, I just wanna follow the series, and because I still don't fully understand this. I understand everything we have done, but I don't know. I couldn't build the computer myself. For example, the instruction decoder circuit. That's something I'm really eager to learn about. I have somewhat of an idea how that could work, but I really looking forward to learn how it's actually done. Are your live streams daily? So my thing is, I should do other stuff. I should work on my master thesis and things like that. I have way more important things I should be doing. So if you see me daily live stream, I'm failing, and that has happened for the past 3 weeks. I have basically streamed almost daily. But going forward, I always try to not stream daily. So yeah, and there's no time schedule anyway. No, I'm doing a master thesis. I'm not doing a PhD. Those are, I don't know, at least those are two different things. Okay, so we connected, no, another add wire. Just computer science. Oh, why are you against a PhD? PhDs are cool. I would have maybe also done a PhD if my life has maybe gone a different route and it's not off the table. Just finished editing my master thesis proposal. Nice. You have a 95 in your name. That means you are probably younger than me, and you start your master thesis already. I procrastinated it pretty hard. Does it pay off to get a master's on computer science? Just from Dev. Can you clarify what you mean with pay off? I'm already working. Like, the reason why I'm so slow with it is because I'm already working for 5 years. Yeah. It also depends on the country. I'm from Germany. Germans really love their papers. Just based on the degree you have, you will earn more for no reason other than you have that paper. Yeah. So because I started it, because I was almost done now, I also kind of want to finish it, but it's not like that I personally really care about it. But this applies to me individually. I think I strongly believe it's for everybody a pretty unique situation, and just because maybe I don't care about a master's degree doesn't mean somebody else should not care about it. I have been in different places of Germany. So many variables to really make a reasonably accurate decision whether master's pays off. Exactly. I know now, based on my past few years that I've been working, that I know that the master probably doesn't really matter to me, but having that paper now dropping out just before the end is kind of also stupid. Exactly. It certainly would not hurt if I have it now. Probably not really affect my career. So far, how my career has been developing, this master degree wouldn't change anything. It's more like having some paper if just life changes. Maybe there is some place where it does matter. For example, if you want to immigrate to a different country, they might have pretty strong rules and laws about, only high qualified people, and so then they make that. Then you need a paper. So you never know what life brings. 5 years of work experience is worth more. Depends on what kind of work experience. There's a lot of bullshit work. I personally value academia and science pretty highly, but there's also a lot of bullshit masters, so there's that too. Word counts are given as kind of just an estimate. You can usually diverge from it if it makes sense. There might be some people that might kind of be too bureaucratic about it, but in my experience, it doesn't really matter. The country I'm from has a huge demand for techies with computer science background, and not enough people to fill them. Yeah. Which chapter do you read out of the book? Which book? What are you talking about? Nobody asks you about how you finished your education. It's all about reference and practical work. Yeah, absolutely. That's for sure. Usually a thesis is for your it's your foot into the door without work experience. So your degree kind of replaces the work experience to get your foot into the door, I guess, for many places. But it also depends heavily, you know, like there is a lot of value in academia. If you go more the science route and you go more into a research position at a research and development kind of position, you know, maybe you're implementing. I mean, if you're just a basic developer, you definitely don't need it. But if you are more interested in, I don't know, the computer science work can very quickly become very mathematical and very scientific in terms of, you know, what kind of optimizations you can make, and I don't know. Waste of money, of your time. Yeah, that's another thing. If, for example, a degree costs a lot of money, yeah, I would that would be a huge reason for me not to do it. I'm again speaking from a German privileged perspective where I don't have to pay for university. So taking that free degree and have that paper that is pretty valuable in many different places. That paper is valuable for some companies like large corporations, or for example, if you would work for the government or so, then your degree just decides how much you earn, no matter what your experience is. Like literally, if you have a master's, you just enter in a higher pay rate. It's just how it is. It's bullshit, but that's how it is in some companies. So it's valuable for that. And the other thing is, if you want, for example, move to a different country, if I would want to go to the US, being able to show that I have a higher degree definitely makes it easier to move into different countries. I don't have to pay for my master's. Nope. University is free in Germany. I mean, there is like a semester's fee, and that includes also a ticket for the whole public transit. And so I mean, the fee per semester is, I think, 300 euros or so. So that's like 50 euros, $50 per month, roughly. Yeah, I mean, it stands in no. I mean, basically that it pays for the ticket already. It's basically worth it to write yourself into university just for the ticket. Yeah, US is fun. Okay. Yeah, for example, in my state, if I would have the work experience I have right now, and would, like, if you would just move me 1-to-1 to Germany with all my work experience, and I would be in a university, but I have to pay every semester. Well, now that I'm just at the end and just have to write my thesis, I guess it would still just pull through now because I have sunken already so much money into it already. But I might have not started the masters then, or might have dropped out like a semester in also with my career, how it has been going. German students have, yeah, I don't know what is a lot, but we definitely have a healthy student exchange program. I wouldn't say that tax is a burden in the EU or in Germany. I don't think it's a burden. Anyway. Okay, so wait, where are we? Wait, I forgot. So we connected these wires. So what do we need to connect next?
Pins on the EEPROM. And we can also, of course, while we're here, tie the chip enable low, and that'll just always
so
be
we need
low.
Chip enable also low. So that is on our chip. Chip enable pin 20. Higher education is free in Russia. Interesting. I actually don't know much about Russia in terms of the school or university system. So do you know how, are you from Russia or know how it works? Is it always free? How is your school, what are your requirements? Can anybody at any time enter that university, or do you have also kind of like do you have to have a certain school degree that allows you to get in? And do you have then numerous clauses where, I'm not sure if that's the international term for that, but where you need certain degrees, certain grades to be able even to start, or do they do it like a hard entrance exam, and that's the way how they filter out people? Pin 20, so here. Thanks for the cheer. It's not confusing. It makes sense. It's just a work attire. Over 50% of your bonus payment will gone on taxes and first insurance. Well, first of all, that is is that your average tax? I doubt your average tax thing is 50%. I mean, I guess if you put health insurance into that, maybe. Okay, but you say it's high or too high. It feels too high, but I don't think it's a burden. Can you live a worse life because of this? Are you living a terrible life? Are you burdened by those taxes that crush you down in life to not be able to live? You can probably live pretty well. At least, yeah. I mean, I would be very much in favor for lowering or getting rid of taxes of lower incomes. Have the first, I don't know, we have the first 8,000 something or 9,000 euros are free of tax in Germany. I probably wouldn't mind something like the first 20k or 30k even to be tax free, and then let's higher tax everything after that. A system like this, I think, would be very fair, because I don't think it's a burden. I don't think it makes your life worse. I think it's just be part of a society that cares about each other. Oh, you're a social worker? Oh, that's awesome. You shouldn't waste your money then on cheers on Twitch, though. You're probably way too underpaid. Yeah, Germany's tax system is, it's such a bummer with Germany. Our tax system is theoretically trying to make it extremely fair. Theoretically, we have all these exceptions and write-offs that you could do, and things that could help you, and it's theoretically extremely fair. The problem is, because of that, it's so complex that if you want to apply all those different rules, you need a tax advisor, you need an accountant to pay, and suddenly, people that have a lot of money benefit more from it. And also, there's also the issue, the effect is, the more taxes you already pay, the higher your income, the more you obviously benefit also from tax write-offs. So a tax for example, increasing the amounts of things that you can write off doesn't benefit poor people, because poor people can't even write off that much initially, can't write off that much anyway. They don't have these kind of expenses. So there are a lot of rules that still just benefit wealthy people. It's quite interesting. So around the last election in Germany, one of the newspapers made like a tax calculator where you could compare the different proposed tax brackets from the different parties and how it affects the state tax, the government's tax income, but also how it affects different income brackets, how much more or less they would pay in taxes. And so any tax where you kind of want to release or want to help the low income people, the problem is that also has massive effects on the high income people, and you make them even save even more money. It's kind of fun. Rich, yeah. You know, I'm by no means rich. Like I'm by no means in the top 5% or 10% in Germany or anything like this. But I definitely earn above average, at least the past 3 years or so. So I pay a lot more taxes than most people, especially around me where I'm living, and so any tax cut for poor people would also massively benefit me, which kind of sucks. Like that's the problem a little bit with the tax that we have. They should reinstate the wealth tax. Yeah, I also like. In the end, I'm not an expert, right? I don't think tax in itself is neither good nor bad. High tax or low tax is neither good nor bad. The tax is a tool that a government can use to do whatever they want to achieve with that. They can lower taxes, for example, for things that they want to incentivize and have people do, and they can raise taxes for things they don't want people to do. That is what you typically see with, for example, tobacco or oil taxes. They are extremely high. But for example, you can lower the taxes, for example, for restaurants because you want people to, I guess, eat more at more restaurants, for example. I don't know, just an example. And so it's a very delicate and difficult formula with a lot of variables how to apply it. And so there are a lot of taxes by principle that sound good, but they might have a kind of opposite effect in the end. There are a lot of incentivize or I mean, what's the term? Subvention, subventions? No, subsidizing. Subsidies for certain things can also help. These are all tools. Like if you subsidize something or tax another thing, has in the end the same effect, right? These are all just tools that you can use to kind of shape your society. And so it's kind of fun to think about it in kind of a gamification kind of thing. These are just variables you can control to make society work in a certain way. In the end, all I want is that people have a dignified life, that people can live without worry about their health and without having to worry where their next food is coming from, and have a roof over their head and have some time to participate in social life. That's all I want. And I don't care how it's kind of like, how that is done. If people can make that work with no taxes and some kind of weird trickle-down economics, if that would work, sign me up. If that works with a 70% tax, I don't care. Let's make it work. I just want that. That's just my goal. And then, I don't know. So I want to see, economic scientists analyze this, run models, have politicians to talk to these scientists and evaluate these models, and then try them out. And if they fail, you reverse them, you try new stuff. I mean, it's all a fluid kind of development, and technology and everything changes around us. So I don't know. Still waiting for the trickle down. Yeah, it was just a joke. We know that trickle down economics is kind of bullshit. So, but I would say, if it would work, then I wouldn't mind. If an economist could like show that in our German economy that would really work, then I don't care. I'm not for or against taxes. They are just tools that you can use to implement something, and what I want implemented is a dignified life for people. And how that is achieved, I don't care. The tool itself is valueless. I don't know. This has gone way too political. Holy shit. Let's continue. I mean, there's a lot of science in politics. They're just, I don't know. They always hear experts. With every difficult topics, they always have experts on. But sometimes these experts are from weird lobby groups. And I think, for example, in Germany, we have a huge problem with lobbyism. It's too intransparent. I believe the US has a much more transparent lobby system because every lobbyist has to register and everything is like kind of tracked. And in Germany, it's pretty intransparent, which seems so weird for Germany. I don't know, that seems so. I don't know. I feel that has gone worse. It's a feeling. I don't really know. I wouldn't say that lobbyism sucks. I don't like these kind of 0 or 1 binary statements. Lobbyism makes absolutely sense. For example, the Chaos Computer Club, the CCC, lobbies inside of politicians and gets invited to make statements on new laws that might depend on digital things. And so I'm happy and I'm glad that the CCC is invited to lobby for their kind of views. It's just important that this always happens with transparency. And we have a lot of kind of weird groups, corporate not joint ventures. Like a lot of corporations, they join in some kind of lobby thing and then they do lobby work. And then it's intransparent who those people are, and who is actually paying them. And it's just too intransparent. The hacking channel where Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars discusses taxation while building an 8-bit computer. Yeah. You also need to register lobbies to get access to the Bundestag. Yeah, but okay, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. But I mean, lobby goes beyond that, right? It's the events that they organize, the small conferences that they organize and invite people to, the talks they give, the panel discussions they organize and those kind of things. You can always post a link. Shouldn't matter. All right. You hate that people in politics want to measure everything. What do you mean by that with measure everything? I think it's extremely important to have a fact and objective and data-driven based politics, because I think a lot of politics is too emotional. Oh wait, that's kind of wrong. I need to. It's not quite what I think. I think there has to be emotion, for example, empathy for humans. I think that's an important emotion in politics. And it should be a goal, for example. It's an emotional goal to reach, to have people live good lives, right? That's an emotional goal, a driver vision that our politics should have, but then have data and fact-based, objective-driven decisions to reach that goal. speaking of measuring, why don't Americans use metrics? It's simply not possible. Yeah, I know it's not possible to get a number on every. I don't mean to track every citizen and have a census every year to see, to get some data on that. You can run a lot with general models already or get second level data on it. The thing is, universities do this all the time. What do you think? A lot of social science and even the university here in Berlin, they have a complete department that just, you can study their traffic systems. And they work with data all the time, data gathering and analyzing society and different aspects of society. This happens all the time in science. The data is, they already do that kind of work. You don't need to track people or surveillance people to get that more data. That's not necessary. Yeah, reactionary stuff. Yeah, for example, the terrorism threat. It's a perfect example of irrational laws. Terrorism in Germany is such a non-issue, and still we make way too many decisions based on it. Anyway, I talk way over my head. I have no clue what I'm talking about here anyway. Okay. Where were we at? Chip enable. We put that down. Add wire. How many subscribers did I lose now? I don't know.
Ever want to do anything with that. And then, of course, our EEPROM also needs ground and power.
We did connect power.
So we've got all of our address lines hooked up. We've got our chip enable hooked up. That's just tied to ground. We've got ground and power here. Output enable, remember, we can hook that up too, because that just goes to the 8th output here of our second shift register.
Okay, output enable is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th pin, 2, 4, 5. Okay, output enable the 8th pin there, like that, like that, like that. You don't see why someone would unsubscribe on political opinions? Oh my gosh, you have no idea. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now with that, the only things left on the chip here are the I/O on the chip here,
God damn it.
And then, of course, our EEPROM also needs ground and power. So we've got all of our address lines hooked up. We've got our chip enable hooked up. That's just tied to ground. We've got ground and power here. Output enable, remember, we can hook that up too, because that just goes to the...
How does he have so much more space here? What did he do? And then out enable, right? It was out enable. So that's on our chip, pin 22. After pin address 10. Okay, so here. Oh wow, what happened? This has never happened before. I scraped off the cable with the wire stripper. See how it's like thinner a little bit? It just like scraped a layer of the plastic instead of cutting and stripping it. That's a first. You can use arrows to manipulate the time of videos. Yeah, the jumps would just be too large in that particular case. I should get rid of the rope, get a mask instead. Yeah, I tried. I also wanted to buy a Guy Fawkes mask, but they were sold out. But I feel like with a mask, working would be even worse. I would have to take that mask off anyway. I said it earlier. This rope is fucking cool. This rope is so cozy. I feel so cozy in it. I feel so nice in it. I feel like I want to go outside with it. I know that would be really weird. Isn't this rope a little bit too warm for today? It very professional IT consultant. Yeah, I know. I came directly from work. That's why I'm still wearing this. I have an AC in here, so I'm fine. The white label. Do I have a white label hanging somewhere? Okay. Anyway, so we connected that. We still have here some other weird pins that I don't know. For example, this N pin here. I don't know what that is. NC. So NC, is NC the only weird one? I believe so. We only have... So here are 1, 2, 3 controls on that side. 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth is the NC. And on the other side, oh, there's another NC. NC is twice on here. Okay, and this doesn't have NC. So what is NC? What do we do with it? NC is no connect. What's the difference between no connect and don't connect? Does don't connect mean dare you to connect anything, and no connect means nothing is connected there anyway? Not connected pin. not connected pin or not connected terminals are pins found on various integrated circuit packages. Those pins have no functional purpose to the outside circuit, but may have unexposed functionality. Those pins should not be connected to any of the circuit connections. They should be left floating. All right, good to know. Okay, then we don't have to do anything with those. Awesome. Okay, I need to refill my drink really quick. NC means do not connect. Yeah, well, it was weird because there's a DC don't connect as well. So what's the difference between NC and DC? But yeah, I mean, we read it. Oh, thanks for Twitch Prime. Play DXDY. Why do you keep also having such weird names? It will be so awkward when we all stand in our robes and we do the hacker code initiation ceremony and we have to read out all these names that joined us today. It will be damn awkward. Anyway, I will be AFK for just a moment to fill up my drink again. And then I will be right back, okay? See you in a minute. Hey, what's up with this harassment in chat? What? What? Stop these insults. I will ban every single person of you. Well, they are visionaire, like brute forces, so it could also be solved. I was just too lazy to implement anything more complicated than anything. Cesar and base64 are things that are quickly implemented in JavaScript. Your acting didn't improve with the rope. I'm banning you. Just watch Scott Pilgrim and oh, he looks like me, not I look like him. That's a new one. Thanks for saying that. Okay. No, that's weird. Yeah, I still need to get the fedora, I think. Is this thing over? Can someone explain to what I just saw? You mean my AFK screen? That's just an AFK screen. That's basically that somebody hacked the stream, and then there's just a small, like a little code that you can decode, and that's what people have been like kind of like spamming in chat a little bit, and that would then solve the challenge, and your name would get displayed on the AFK screen. Whoa, Toby, careful. Okay. Now we need to connect all these other wires to the Arduino. Dreading it. Are you a full-time streamer or YouTuber, or do you have a day job? Oh, I just do this for fun. I waste way more money than I make from the stuff. Nice screen idea though. Thanks. Yeah, it's that's really fun. Streaming right now is really fun because I can get really creative and implement weird ideas, or do like weird stuff. Yeah. The video. I meant to go to the video. There we go.
You know, 8th output here of our second shift register. Now with that, the only things left on the chip here are the I/O pins, so I/O 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and our write enable. And so for those, we're just going to hook those right up to our Arduino. So the I/O pins 0 through 7, we're just going to hook up to, is it D5, I guess is the next data pin. So D5 through D12.
Okay, so he connected D5 to what exactly?
We're just going to hook up to...
okay, he connects that to I/O 0. Okay, so he just goes from 5 starts to go the I/O pins up. All right, we can do that as well. Let me put that maybe here, and you can see the whole board. D12, yeah, yellow. So our chip is this one here. So to pin 11. I guess we could go down right here and then go over. I hope. So we go from D5. Yeah, I guess we can go from here, I guess. Wait, how many cables is he connects? Like quite a lot, right? What is the other stuff he connects? Oh, it's all the 8 data. Okay, wait, no, we start down here. It's 8 cables that we need to connect. Okay, so from here, and then we can go down here, and then we take a turn. It's an electronics chat forum with practical application. Yeah, sure. I mean, it was all fine until that last part of the sentence. So we have only 3 pins there, then I guess I go all the way down here over. So like here. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, right now we are LARPing as a hacker, so. Yeah, this is a nerd-free zone here, yeah? All nerds out. Out! What the hell is going on? Palpatine would be proud of you. I can't see well with these. I can make a glass out of wires? What? Okay, wait. This green wire here. I bent this a little bit earlier. To make a bit space there. And no, the third cable wire. Yeah, blinking is all that. I mean, that's the reason why we do it, right? We don't really need LEDs, but we go out of our way to make LEDs look nice because it has to blink in the end. I need to add the more wires to the counter. 1 second. How many more did we add? I think we added the 3 yellow ones and the white one, right? Are those 4 more? I'm not quite sure. Hi, Heretic. And hi, Shimple. How far are you considering the whole 8-bit computer? I think like a bit over halfway. Maybe. Like half, I guess. It's not too awkward. Since I started this counting, you are only the second person, so it's... yeah, I don't trust you. You seem like you have been... Yeah, play with cancer. You have been here way too long already. Not trusting your thing. Okay, cool. So we connected those wires. Looking a bit crappy. Especially this one here. Well, what can you do? You have a friend who does the same thing right now? Who kinda does? What does kinda mean? And don't have any respect. I'm following YouTube videos. I didn't come up with this myself, okay? So you could easily do the same. It's just stupidly following YouTube videos and just copying everything. Pretty simple. Your uni professor showed extremely similar project last week. Do you have a link as like a public project, or are there like instructions or plans or... Leon, also not falling for you. Why not creating an Arduino chip on breadboard to program your breadboard computer? Why are you stating it as a way as if I'm against that? Of course, yeah, maybe. I don't have a reason why not to. Except that we have to do it. The only reason not to do it is that we have to put the time into that, building that. Oh, he just showed his own project that he's something like done like that. All right. Okay. Okay, so I guess that cable is done. What else do we need to connect?
Is it D5, I guess, is the next data pin. So D5 through D12.
Oh yeah, the other, I totally forgot about the other ones. Okay, so okay. So now we go from here all the way to, yeah, to the, wait, is that our chip? Yeah, to all the way to pin 15 down there. Ah, crap, I cut it. Might barely fit. God damn it. How did that happen? Should be okay, kinda. Okay, switch back to your hand cam. Ah, yeah, sorry. Thank you. Some guy at my university also built an 8-bit breadboard computer. Do you know if it was also based on Ben Eder's version and then just starting extending on it? That's also kind of the rough plan that we have, that you know, we built this, but we also might want to extend it if we still have motivation at the end. Yeah, we are pretty fast today, despite pretty basic content here. Do you have a voice assistant? What do you mean? I have a whole team around me of various different roles. I have a live audience right now. I don't have any assistant with Alexa or Google Home. My secretary is called James, and my camera assistant is we call him we call him Shark, and yeah, that's it. Pretty small team. Yeah, I telepathically tell my camera assistant what to do. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Ben Eater's series has had quite some impact. A lot of people were motivated to start projects, so Ben Eater has done such a great work. I think it's the seeing that so many people have started building such a computer and are having fun with that and even extended just shows that his video has incredible impact on a lot of people's life and education, and so that couldn't be anything better for somebody who creates educational content. I cannot imagine 90 people sitting in a theater to see me for whatever reason. That sounds like a nightmare. Oh, I don't even know what the record is. Is the record 28 wires in 4 hours? Most people are here for the wire cutting as well. I'm glad. That's awesome. We are building basically the 7-segment decoder or 7-segment output register right now. But for that we need the EEPROM, and so specifically we are creating the EEPROM programmer that we will use to program the EEPROM for that module. But we will also probably use that EEPROM programmer later for other modules where we use EEPROMs. Yeah, the Arduino will just program the EEPROM for us, so we can define how we want to program the Arduino, the EEPROM on the computer, and then the Arduino will just wiggle the pins of the EEPROM to program it. So you could remove it when you're done. Yeah, exactly. You program the EEPROM, and when the EEPROM is programmed, then you can move the EEPROM into the circuit where you want to use it. An EEPROM is just a non-erasable. No, well, it's kind of erasable, but it stores the values you put in it forever. It's like a storage. It's like it's ROM, read-only I guess, yeah. It's just memory basically, and we want these addresses, this memory to contain certain specific values. And so yeah. So I guess we can add 4 more wires, right? have no clue what hacker noon is. I know what the EEPROM is used for. Why are you telling me? Or did you try to respond to somebody else? What kind of circuit are you doing? We are building a EEPROM programmer. So we use the Arduino to program the EEPROM. So we are just connecting all the address lines and the data lines of the EEPROM. And that the EEPROM will later be used. It will later be used. What do I want to say? It will later be used for a 7-segment display output. So that will be kind of like the screen of our computer, just some 7-segment output. Okay, so we connected all of these.
Okay, so that's all the I/O lines, and the only last connection is the write enable, which is right in there, I think. And that's going to go over to pin 13.
Write enable. The write enable is for us 27. Ugh. Okay. I might want. I will try to fiddle it under the yellow wires there. If Twitch has a bug bounty program, twitch.tv. Ah, crap. What is up with my keyboard? Twitch.tv bug bounty. HackerOne Twitch. Security at Twitch. Okay. Twitch, the world, blah blah blah. On HackerOne external program. Here you can submit your security issues, and the policy is also linked here. Responsible disclosure. There it is. What is, I mean, what's, it took you longer to type these 2 questions twice than just Google it. Also, I'm kind of curious. Twitch.tv/security.txt. Somebody need to register that account. Can accounts have dots in on Twitch? Maybe not. I guess not. Haven't seen ever one with a dot. No. Yeah. So we go from here. And I guess we go up here, and then we go all the way over here. Nice outfit, thanks. That's what I have to wear every day at work. I look like Luke Skywalker? Thank you. Other people have said I look like Palpatine. I prefer Luke Skywalker. Right enable pin 27, so it's up here. Down Sarah. That's a good one. Haven't heard that one yet. Good idea, Lava, to make this, make it just return the amount how many people have asked. That's a good idea. I'm not going to camp. Come on, I want to get this. All right, okay. Was new round of YouTube ITsec drama talk already over? What kind of YouTube ITsec drama? Okay, let's see what is next after this.
And so that should be everything. We should be able to control everything on this EEPROM. So the first thing I want to do is write some code that'll allow us to read what's on the EEPROM. So get this set address out of here. And I'm going to write another function here that'll just let me read the whatever's in a particular.
ProPack. Yeah, we talked about it on stream. You can watch the VOD somewhere in there. I will also probably cut that part out and upload it on liveoverflow too. It's sometime in the future, if you kind of want to wait for that. I personally don't see it as dramatic, basically. Long TLDR is basically, these are not new policies, they are just clarification of policies. These policies have been in effect for a long time already.
Byte. So the first thing we want to do is tell the EEPROM what address we're reading from. So we can use the set address and then the address that was passed in here. And then output enable we want to be true because we want to be able to read what's coming in. So now what I want to do is read each of the data pins. So each of these, IO0 through IO7, we want to read those. And so those are on D5 through D12. So I'm going to make some more constants here. So we'll say EEPROM D0 is on pin 5, and EEPROM D7 is on pin 12. And we can use these constants down here. So we'll do a loop. So pin is going to go from, we're actually going to go backwards.
Janelle, who's going to build HackTube. Well, there used to be security tube and stuff. The problem is, to be honest with you, a lot of the hacking content on YouTube is utter bullshit and boring and crap and useless and might very well be bannable because it shows you how to brute force some kind of Instagram account or how to hack your your neighbor's Wi-Fi, and things like that. Very well, that might be bannable because these are, I guess, criminal offenses anyway, right? Channels that do it hopefully ethically, how I consider do my channel, and also Cody, for example, his channel is pretty ethical, and Gunwell and all the other ones. We all never really had problems, and if there were some kind of problems, then it was always be able to be resolved. And so I think everything is fine. The problem with SecurityTube was also that it was full with crap. You went on there was nothing there. It's too much thing. So I have actually started making a website a while ago on stream. Want to continue at some point too again. It's supposed to be a curated video page, so where good videos are available, and I hand select the videos that I think are good. So it hosts my videos, but I also wanted to have other people's videos. But it's not very filled with content right now. So the concept is there. You can see, for example, down here, all these categories don't have images. So this is a total work in progress and only has a handful, like 24 or so videos that I've entered on it there. Leon, what do you mean with song request command works? We don't have songs on here. The song request command is a command standard by Stream Elements. It's available. You can call it, but what does it matter? There's like nothing behind it. We don't play it on stream, so. Yeah. So yeah, you can click on here. It's like if you want to learn about static analysis and you want to see how could JD GUI be used, and then you find the video that that uses that particular tool. Saito getting excited about hacking app. Yeah, I mean, if in the worst case, you know, it's still kind of risky. If YouTube would ban all my videos, I would probably just get an account at Vimeo and just upload it to Vimeo. Or Pornhub. They seem to be pretty open with hosting any kind of content. I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem. What do you think about people learning Kali at a young age to advance? I don't know what you mean. I don't care about Kali. I don't use Kali. I don't know what learning Kali means. If you're talking about Kali tutorials, that's exactly the kind of videos that I think are stupid. Exactly the reason why I started my YouTube channel, or one of the many reasons why I was motivated to start my YouTube channel. No, I haven't seen the results of CSCG. Is it like over now? Do you not have a Vimeo account? I think I have a Vimeo account. Maybe I have one. I don't know. It's not like I use it. What did automod? Yeah. Let's leave that automod. The CSCG results. Let's get. Coolio. Betreutes Ponen. Yo. So, he was also with me at CSCG when I participated. He's really great and he's super nice and he's really awesome. And he is also he was with me in China, or I was with him in China at the Real World CTF. Also super amazing. The others I might know only from nickname. I'm not sure. I don't recognize the faces, I think. Yeah, there were 4 teams. Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought you wanted to see the results, the winning team, or what did you want to point out? I mean, I'm just happy that people I know won. Oh yeah, okay. He was also with us in China. He's also really good, second place. Did they randomize the teams again, or how did that? I guess they did. Wait, this was. Those are the juniors. I'm not sure if I know any. Might have met before, I don't know. And here, this is Linus, by the way. The guy whose exploit I'm using as an example for the browser exploitation challenge. You know, this crazy dude who made the WebKit exploit, and this thing I'm not really understanding and try to learn and walk through. That's his exploit. He's in the juniors, okay? He played in the junior category. It feels bad, huh? What a machine. He was also with us in China. Cool.
7 down to D0 will decrement pin. And what I want to do is basically read each pin and shift it into some byte that we're going to keep track of. So data will be the data that we're reading, and we'll start out with that equal to 0. And then for each of these pins from 7 down to 0, we'll say that data equals whatever is currently in data, shift left 1, and then add whatever is on that pin. So digital read that pin. So this should build up a byte by reading one pin at a time. And then whatever we end up with in data, we're going to return from this read EEPROM function. And so now, in our setup, which gets run, when we reset the board or when we upload new code to it, let's do a read EEPROM of address 0. And this is going to return a byte. So what do we do with that byte? So this is why I didn't want to use these first 2 data pins, because if we don't use those first 2 data pins, then we can use the serial on this board to actually get data out of the USB. So if we say serial begin and then give it a speed, 57600 I think is the default, so we'll go with that. Now we can do a serial print line of whatever we read from address 0. And this will print it to the serial monitor. And so if I go to Tools, Serial Monitor, it pulls up this window, and anything that we do the serial print line will show up in this window. So let me go ahead and upload this program. And you can see it's uploading, and the board doesn't do anything. But now here we have a 0 shows up. So that could mean a bunch of things. It could mean that there's actually a 0 in address 0 of our EEPROM, or it can mean something's not working. It's actually kind of hard to tell, unfortunately, because we don't actually, I don't know what's programmed in this EEPROM. So I guess what we could do is we could stick it in this thing that we built in the last video and we can actually see what's in it, pry this EEPROM out of here and pop it in this circuit. And then if we power this up, go to address 0, well, there's a 0 in there. So maybe we're reading it properly. Let's see what's in address 1. Okay, address 1, there is a 6 in there. So let's put this EEPROM back in here and then see if when we read address 1, we get a 6. Probably shouldn't be doing this while the board is powered up, but I've had some problems where if I unplug my USB, sometimes I have to reboot my computer for it to see the Arduino again. I'm not sure what's going on there. So now let's go back to our code and read address 1, and hopefully we'll see that 6 in there. So run that, look at our serial monitor, and hey, there's a 6. So it looks like we're able to read the contents of the EEPROM. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write some code that actually reads out a larger block of data from the EEPROM and prints it all nicely to the serial monitor.
Please have your code available.
So I'm going to go from 0 to 255 by increments of 16, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a line for every 16 bytes. That way it's formatted nicely. And so I'm going to read 16 bytes at a time. So I'm going to create an array of bytes that's 16 bytes long, and then fill that array. So I'm going to do an offset of 0 to 15. Here I'm going to put each byte into that data. Here I'm going to read each byte from the EEPROM. Read EEPROM, and I want base plus offset. And what this will do is it'll read, it'll go through this loop and read all 16 of those bytes, starting at whatever the base is. So the base will start at 0, but then it'll jump by 16. And so each time through this outer loop, we'll read 16 bytes, 1 byte at a time through this inner loop. Then I'm going to use sprintf, which is just a C function to kind of create a formatted string. So let me create just a buffer for that string. I don't know how long that's going to be. Let's say 80 characters is probably enough. And I'm going to do sprintf into that buffer. And then here I'm just going to specify the format string. So I want to start out with the address that we're on. And so this %03x just means that that's going to be filled in by a 3-digit hex number with leading zeros. So we'll do that. And then a bunch of 2-digit hex numbers for whatever the contents at each of those bytes is. So that's 8. And since we're reading 16 at a time, give 16. I'll put a little extra space in there to make it easier to read. So that'll be the format string, and then we just need to specify all the things that fills in. So this first thing is going to be our base, and then the rest of these are just our data.
Let's see if we can quickly adapt this code that he has also to see kind of if it works. I mean, we don't have the other circuit to to stick it in and test the EEPROM with like switches and LEDs. We didn't build that. I hope we don't have to. I hope it just works. So let's see what print contents. Cool. Okay, so he has that function here. I guess we can just erase entire EEPROM, write program. Okay, we comment that out. Okay, yeah, let's comment this out. Erasing, yeah, we don't want that, like that, and just print the content. So let's try that. We need the serial monitor. Oh, it's plugged out. Copy and paste coding, yeah, for sure. When did YouTube add that? It's like a trust thing. If you are like logged in or it's a trusted link, it will not happen. But if you are not logged in, then I don't know. There are some rules that I haven't analyzed. But sometimes, if I know that if you are not logged in at all, I think it shows up every time. For example. Port serial monitor. The baud rate he's using was 5760. There we go. So we can keep that here, and then we just program and upload it. Okay, so we got output, and it's all FFFF. That is actually good, because we know that by default, the EEPROM should have all its data content to be 1. And FF is 101 bits. So that should mean it works. I don't know. We don't have the circuit to like program it by hand right now. But I guess we could try the this code here for the write like we could write one address here to something else, and then we read again afterwards. So we write, for example, to address 0, I guess we can write a hex 13, and to address 1 we can write a 37. Let's see if that works. Obviously we need to print the contents afterwards. Well, now we have written it, hopefully. So if we try it again, we should. So first of all, still FF. Now we run it again. Okay, this is weird. Okay, here's the second read. Okay, I don't know what happened. This must have been something that's weird. But after we have written these values, so here you can see like address 0 starting again. So this is the second, I guess if we do the print here. Come on. Like that. Let's do it again. It's a bit small maybe on screen. But after we have written 1337, we see that in memory. And yeah, okay, so it worked also now. Cool. Yeah, so this was already in there. So it seems to work, I guess. We wrote at 2 different addresses, 2 values, so it already seems to work. All right. Yeah, I believe now in the rest of the video basically just explains this code and testing around. But I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I think I call it a day now. We basically finished this. This seems to work. Let's continue with this another day. Yeah. All right. You can right click. Oh, cool. I have never. Oh, nice. Thanks. I didn't know that. Is that a GNOME feature? Who was the person who said why I'm still using GNOME? See how amazing GNOME is? Can I not make this smaller than that? I guess. Okay. All right. Excellent. Cool. Thanks for the tip. The blink stuff on the right. Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, my overhead camera is kind of broken right now. Wait, let me see if I can make it work again. Logitech. Let me see. That cable goes. Oh, I think I plugged in the wrong thing. Wait. Oh yeah. Oops. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, now the overhead thing works again. Okay, so here this is basically our current progress that we have on the board overall. So up here, this is so you can here see different modules of the 8-bit computer that we are building. Up here is the clock module. We can control how fast the clock is running. You see this LED here telling you how fast always the clock pulls. And we can also switch to manual mode. So now I can by hand execute the clock cycles. So this is the clock module where we can switch between and change the speed. At the top here, this is the program counter. This is currently configured that in each clock cycle, the program counter goes to the next address. So, that's the instruction pointer basically. Then these two are registers. You can see the values that are stored in the register here, register A and register B. They can store memory. And between those two, we have the ALU, that's the arithmetic logic unit, that does addition and subtraction. And it can add or subtract the two registers, and the result of that addition or subtraction is shown here. So right now, we are always adding, with each cycle, we always add the value from register A and register B together, and the result is here. And this result is right now also output onto the bus. So this is like the shared bus between the different components. And the B register is reading from the bus on each cycle, which means on each cycle it will get the result of the addition back into register B. It will do another addition. The result is here, put on the bus, and on the next cycle it reads the next value. So that's why you see it like cycling through here, because always this addition is done and then it reads the next result, and yeah, you get the point. And down here, this is the actual instruction register. So this is the instruction pointer that basically the counter, the pointer, that is basically what tells you the address of the instruction. And this is supposed to be later the register that contains the actual instruction that you deal with right now. And the instructions will later be encoded in a way that the first 4-bit kind of can decide what kind of instruction it is. And the last 4-bit can be used as addresses. So if you do a move from this address or so, then the move would be encoded in here, and the address from where it would move would be in the upper 4 bits. So yeah, and right now this is connected also to the bus as reading. So it's currently basically reads the instruction from the bus, but on the bus right now we have the result of this addition. So that's why it's reading in and also cycling through here. And then over here, this is the memory, that's the RAM. The RAM actually is just this in the middle here. We have 16 bytes. What? Didn't I just feel something getting warm here? No. Okay, no clue what I just felt. Anyway, but we added this module here at the top and this module at the bottom that allows us to read and write memory by hand. So for example, right now we have address 0 and there's all zeros stored. And then address 1 we have, so here you can see the address, we have this value. And so it's similar to the EEPROM, it's just RAM, it's volatile, right? So this is used during execution. And so this is address 2 has this value stored. And we can also write our own values to it. We can change here the value, and with this button I believe we should be able to read that value into that memory register now. So yeah, there we go. We read that into this register, and we can go to a different address again, but if we go to that address again, here we have our value. So that's the RAM. That's the blinky stuff that you have seen kind of like there in the background. And right now we are basically adding another module that will be an output register. So A and B register are kind of used during execution that you can use to do, for example, addition or subtraction. But we want a third register that we can write a value to, and that value will then also be displayed in a nice kind of like 7-segment display, you know, with numbers that you can read instead of just the bits on and off. And for that output register to do that 7-segment displays. We want to use this EEPROM, and that's why we are currently working on building a programmer to program the EEPROM with the Arduino, so we don't have to do this by hand. You could program this by hand in a similar way how you program this RAM. This is basically what Ben Ida has shown before. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got for today. Let's see. Hey Rally Security, thanks for joining the Secret Hacker Society. Unfortunately, the sermon is over. We will head out now and go to work in our robes. Joining a bit late, sorry, but I hope you watched the VOD. I tried to make something fun at the start of the stream. Yeah, so like I said, that's it for today. We made some good progress. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Let's see if today the outro works without issues, okay? The past 2 days we always had problems, but I believe it's working now, okay? So cross your fingers and let's see if it works. Okay, it seems to work. Thank you. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me. See you.